All right. Welcome everyone to our service fee webinar. I hope you're all doing well, and I hope you're ready to learn more about the improvement we've made to the service fee. Before we start, I'd like to clarify a few things about this webinar. First, this session is being recorded, and the recording will be sent to you along with a new roundup that will include all of the content covered during this presentation and some FAQs as well. You will receive this email in the next 24 to 48 hours. Second, we won't be hosting a live Q&A, but we encourage you to ask your questions by sending them to us through the chat box in your webinar panel, and we will add them to the roundup. Let's get started. So this is me. My name is Nick. I am an implementation specialist here at Amelia for the past 2 years, and I'll be hosting this webinar on service fees. Here's what we'll cover during this presentation. First of all, we'll start with a short description of what is a service fee in Amelia. I'll show you how to enable and disable the service fees in your account. We'll talk about how they used to work and how they're working now, and how the changes we've made might affect you. We'll finish with a few resources that might be useful for you going forward. So what is a service fee? We can describe a service fee as an automatically applied invoice item that is charged to an invoice based on the rules configured by the organization. The typical use of a service fee would be to align the pricing for all services and products to cover operational business costs. What's the benefit of charging a service fee? Well, first of all, it helps you cover the operational business costs associated with the usage of Amelia, and also with to cover the payment processing costs. It can also help you to adjust against increasing costs, for example, with anything like the COVID-19 situation, or just to adjust with the inflation. And if you already spent a ton of time going over your pricing strategy and you don't want to change it, it also works as a quick fix to make sure your expenses are covered. For those of you who are not familiar, this is what it used to look like before. So just as a quick reminder, the first option was to not apply a service fee, and the second one would be to just to have an absolute dollar amount, and the same amount would be charged or in the amount of the invoice. A percentage and a dollar for a slice of, let's say, $100. And then you would have a dollar amount plus a percentage. I'm not going to go over all of these right here, since we'll be talking about them with the new feature. This is where the service fees were previously applied to invoices. So as you may know, they were applied on checkout, for replacement, and on subscriptions as well. They were not applied for a transaction made through the POS during the invoice creation or the mass invoice creation for a contract, or for a facility booking by an admin. This is what they will look like going forward. So the first thing I want to show you is, if we take a look here on the left side, you're going to see that the service fee are now in the discounts and fees module. So this is where you're going to be able to configure your service fees. So first of all, the new setup includes a service fee name. You could use just service fee if you leave it empty, and this will be displayed on the client's invoices. Then you have to link your service fee to a ledger code, and this will help you tracking the revenues made through the service fees. And then you need to decide if you want to, how you're going to apply this service fee. First of all, you have a percentage option and also a dollar amount, and you can also decide to use a combination of both. Then you have the option to exclude donations and to exclude a merchandise item as well. Last thing is you need to decide how you're going to apply the taxes on your service fees. Let's take a look at where the service fee will apply going forward. So again, it will be available during checkout for a replacement and for subscriptions, but also with any transaction done through the POS for the invoice creation, the mass invoice creation, the contracts, and for a facility booking by an admin. So they will be more universally applied than it was in the past. One thing to keep in mind as well is you will always have the option to override the service fee when doing a transaction in the back office as an admin. So once again, if you have any question, don't hesitate to send them through the question box. I'll leave you 15 to 20 seconds just so you can write your question down if you have any. All right, let's dive back in. So as an example, let's look at a contract creation. So as you can see, an admin will be, when setting up a contract, will be able to decide if they want to apply the service fees or not. If you want to, just make sure to check off that box here. And then if you don't want to apply the service fees on the contract, just leave that unchecked. Another good example will be with the point of sale. So again, when doing a transaction using the POS, you're going to be able to decide if you want to apply service fees or not for this specific invoice. These changes might affect you. One of the most positive change with this is that they're going to be more universally applied to anything that you may sell through Amelia. And for organizations who were already using the service fees, I'll encourage you to review your setup just to make sure that everything is sufficiently covered. This is how you are going to be able to activate your service fee when this new module will be available. So we will be converting the service fee into an app, and that will become available through the App Store starting on Monday, October 19th. Monday next week, sorry. So if you go into the App Store right here, you're going to be able to find the service fee app, and by clicking on it, you'll be able to activate this app in your store, and from there you'll be able to do the configuration. And again, as I mentioned, this will only be available, this will be live on Monday and not before, Monday next week. Just a quick reminder. So to activate your service fee, just make sure to visit the Amelia App Store starting Monday next week. While doing the configuration, don't forget to give it a name to decide if you want to use a percentage or a dollar amount or a combination of both. Decide how you want to apply the taxes, and keep in mind that you can always override the service fee when you're doing a purchase on behalf of a client. The resources that you're going to have going forward, as I mentioned before, you will receive an email, a webinar roundup, in which you'll have the recording of this webinar, and you'll also have access to a knowledge-based articles that describes how to configure this new service fee, and you also have access to our support team by going through the little bubble on the side of the bottom right corner of your Amelia page. So this is it for this webinar on service fees. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to send them in the question box at the bottom of your screen. And I'll see you next time. Hope you enjoyed this webinar. Thank you.